This is Rock and Roll English. Real people, real English. Here's your host, Martin Johnston.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Rock and Roll English. Episode number 195, baby. Oh yeah. Only 5 more to go until the big 200. Anyway, in today's episode, I have a new guest. Yes, that's right. A new friend. Well, he's not a new friend. I have known him for a long time, but a new friend on the podcast, okay? It's my friend Tom Jones. Yes, like the singer, maybe you know Tom Jones, but they're not related or anything like that. Not as far as I know, anyway. So yes, my friend Tom Jones, who I used to call TJ, because Tom Jones, TJ. But then I was too lazy to say TJ, because that's got 2 syllables. So now I just call him Tej. So I speak to Tej, who is now a personal trainer. And if you don't know what a personal trainer is, it's one of those annoying people at the gym with a great body that's really fit and that's always saying to you, come on, let's do this. So yes, Tej is a personal trainer. So that's why I call him PT Tej. Get it? Yeah? PT, personal trainer, TJ. Yeah. So in today's episode, I speak to PT Tej about fitness, and he gives us some fitness tips and all of this kind of stuff. So yes, we speak about it in today's episode. But if you want to watch us, you can do that on Wednesday this week, because PT Tej and I, on Wednesday, so the day after tomorrow, at 10 o'clock Italian time in the morning, 9 o'clock English time. I can't do all of the times in the world. So yes, Italian time, 10 o'clock. We are going to do a live fitness session on Facebook Live. Well, I say we are going to do a session. He is going to do it, and I'm going to try, I repeat, try to maintain the same speed as him. So come along and do the exercises with us. PT Tej told me we won't need anything except some space in your house and maybe a mat to lie on. He has also told me that it's for beginners and advanced people, because he will give different options. So if you want to do the difficult exercise or the easy exercise, you can do that. So one last thing before we start the conversation. You will notice I say some quite horrible things to my friend in this episode, but don't worry, okay, because we are very good friends and I have been saying horrible things to him since the day I met him. He knows it's my way of showing my love and affection to him. Anyway, that's definitely enough of me talking. Here is the conversation with me and PT Tej. I will speak to you all again at the end for the rock and roll vocabulary. In the meantime, happy listening. PT Tej, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you, Martin. You?
Always fantastic, always fantastic. It's wonderful to have you on the show. Who would have thought that first day where I met you at university, we would be making a podcast together 16 years later, hey?
I know, that hasn't escaped me as well.
I still actually think about that first day at university. You know, I arrived thinking, okay, right, hopefully I will be in a room next to a beautiful girl, because we were in dorms. So dorms are like the place where you stay. You have just a room. I was hoping for a beautiful girl. I go to the room next to me and I find PT Tej, wearing a young man wearing glasses and listening a lot to Coldplay, if I remember.
Some of that's true, yeah. I think you've fallen on good times, though, to be honest. Back then, I was in decent shape until we started hitting the union. So, but you are right about the rest of it. It took me to meet you, Martin, until I improved myself as a human being. Hey.
Well, I think you improved a lot as a human after you met me. The thing listening to Coldplay as well. I remember, first year at university, I was always ready for a party. And then next door, I can just hear PT Tej listening to fucking Coldplay, slitting his wrist. So slitting his wrist is basically killing himself, because that's kind of what you want to do when you listen to Coldplay.
It could have been more uplifting. I I agree. Looking back on it now, it could have been, but
yeah, lovely rock and roll vocabulary there as well. Uplifting. So when it makes you feel better, the music makes you feel better. Yes, absolutely. Anyway, PT Teach, do you know how we start the show here on Rock and Roll English?
I'm not going to lie, Martin. I'm not your biggest listener. I have to say. So walk me through it.
Some nice rock and roll vocabulary there as well. Walk me through it, like show me step by step. Don't worry, I will be your leader, okay? I have been for the last 16 years, so I will continue, don't worry. So we start with a review, okay? And I'm not going to ask you. In fact, I am. Do you think we have a review?
I'd like to think so. Podcast of this calibre, I'd expect a few. I've got to be honest.
You are correct. We do have one. And nice vocabulary again. Podcast of this calibre, so of this level. And it's from Miriam Nicolosi. I'm pretty sure I've got that pronunciation right. I normally embarrass myself, but I'm more comfortable with the Italian part. And it says, ideal for developing listening skills and expanding vocabulary. Easily understandable conversations, even from an advanced A2. Available on Spotify. Stay tuned. Congratulations, Martin. So thank you very much for that, Miriam.
The listening part, I'd say, is definitely true there. I think most people struggle to get a word in edgeways, Martin. So definitely good for listening.
So lovely vocabulary again there. Struggle to get a word in edgeways. Like, it's really difficult to actually talk, probably because I talk so much. So this will be a listening lesson for you as well.
It will, Martin, yeah. But like you say, it's been like that for the last 16 years, so I'm ready for it.
That's good. And yes, I've said it once and I'll say it again. Every day is a school day. So you'll be learning today, and so will I, because we are talking about fitness, okay, and how to keep up your fitness, okay, how to keep fit. And I've done 5 minutes research on the internet, as always, and I have a few things here.
Go on.
And I'm going to ask you, and you can just give us your personal trainer expertise, okay?
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so the first thing to help you exercise is use visual motivation. Is this a trick that we can do?
You can definitely use visual motivation, because at the end of the day, I think you need to visualise what you want to become, what you want to be. I think 16 years ago, when I was slightly overweight, I visualised a slightly more chiselled physique, and hopefully I've accomplished that. So I do agree that psychologically it's a good place to start.
So lovely rock and roll vocabulary there. Chiselled physique. So chiselled, so like in a perfect shape. But we will be moving on to your problem of being slightly overweight at university a bit later. That's one of the main things I want to talk about. But I also want to tell you, at the moment I'm doing a lot of exercising. In fact, I did one of your YouTube videos this morning. And my visual motivation of how I want to be is I just want to have an arse like yours, okay?
Yeah, it's achievable, Martin.
Okay, I hope it is. In those videos, all your videos, I notice you do wear extremely tight shorts. I mean, do they need to be that tight? Is that necessary?
For videos for you watching, I like to go tighter the better. But I on a serious note, because a lot of people have said this to me, that they are quite tight. I always say to wear tight clothing purely because you can actually see your body shape. So if you ever look in a mirror and you're performing a lift or a squat or an exercise, it's better to see your physique so you can look at your form.
Or is it just you want to show that you've got a fantastic body and arse? I mean, those shorts look like they are painted on, okay? But you have also got a very chiselled, beautiful arse. So, you know, it's good to look at.
I mean, 16 years ago, it looked like I was wearing shorts that were painted on as well. But now I'm quite comfortable wearing shorts. The tighter, the better. So
Yeah, sure. Okay. I go for a bit more of a baggy number. So baggy clothes are the opposite of tight clothes, for example. So the next point we've got here is that when you start exercising, you don't necessarily have to start really quickly, because some people that have unhealthy diets, maybe they drink, maybe they smoke, and then they go cold turkey. So if you go cold turkey, you give up everything and you change everything immediately. And it might be too much. So we need to take our time. What about that, PT Teach? Is that a good point?
Yeah, I think that's a brilliant point. Like you say, people go mad too quick, too soon.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we can all build up to your arse. We can't expect to have an arse like you after just a couple of days.
I feel like I'm in the wrong job. Should just be an arse model.
You've got a very good career ahead of you as an arse model.
I've got a face for radio, but an arse for TV, definitely.
Well, at least you've got that arse, eh? That's more than I've got.
It's something to fall back on, eh?
Exactly. Yeah, no pun intended there. Something to fall back on, yeah. But yeah, you were obviously quite slow as well getting into this fitness game, because as you mentioned, when we were at university, you weren't quite the fitness fanatic that you are now, really, are you? And, I mean, let's not beat around the bush here. So when I say let's not beat around the bush, let's not try and use nice words. You were a fat bastard, weren't you?
I was. Well, it's funny you say that. Day one, I think I was actually in quite decent shape, and then drinking took its toll. And I think in the first year, I put on about 20 kilos, which for, I don't know if you work in kilos or stone, is about 3.5 stone, which is about the size of a dog, probably. It's a lot.
Yeah, it was quite a lot. Yeah, but then I really think that being fat really suited you. Like you loved it. I actually think you were happier when you were a fat bastard.
You reckon? It's probably because I was with you every day, Martin. That was where the happiness was born from. Nothing to do with the weight.
Yeah, you're right there, definitely. Yeah. You just seem so proud of it. You used to love telling people about your big belly and how many pints of beer that you could drink, how much you could eat. You loved it. I don't hear you talking about that kind of thing now. You don't tell people how great your arse is, for example.
Yeah. I don't know how to respond to that. I don't ever recall getting my belly out and saying, I love this. I think that might have been fabricated. A lot of the stories we've got, I think, have been slightly, I used the word embellished over the years.
So some nice rock and roll vocabulary. Their story has been fabricated or embellished, like just changed a bit. I've also said this before, okay? Don't let facts get in the way of a good story, okay? That's how I remember it. So for me, that's what happened, okay? So another one we've got here is work out why. Don't just work out, which I think is a nice play on words. So work out why you want to get fit. So why did you decide to get fit? Because like I said, the fat bastard thing really was a good look for you.
Yeah. It's like fashions change. I think I did the fat bit during the noughties, and I thought I'd go thin for as soon as we hit 2010. I started, it's a good point. I think it links back to the visualization in terms of what you want to get to and why you want to do it. And I think the reason you want to do it should be for yourself and just for your own motivations, really. I mean, that plus I was getting a little bit immobile, so it didn't help matters. I remember we had a play fight once in after a night out, and it probably only lasted about 30 seconds, but my God, I was sweating. And I think that was one of the points where I hit rock bottom.
Yeah. Lovely rock and roll vocabulary there, to hit rock bottom, to hit the very bottom. Yeah, I remember sort of having to walk to university with you, and it was about, I don't know, like 600 metres, and by the end of it, your face would be bright red and you would be sweating your bollocks off. So there's a nice term to say sweating a lot.
Sweating your bollocks off, yeah. Again, don't let facts get in the way of a good story.
But as I said, that's definitely how I remember it. Speaking of, though, our fight, because, we've always spoken about having a boxing fight together, haven't we? And back in those days, my strength, I suppose, was that I was fast and I could move, I was fit, whilst obviously you were a bit bigger. But, I don't know if I'm going to win this boxing fight now. I'm trying my best. I've started going to the gym again because, as you know, I was a boxer back in the day. So I was like the under-6 champion in Essex. I used to move like a butterfly, sting like a bee. That was me. So I'm just trying to get that back before we start this boxing fight.
Yeah, I think we're now in the same weight category. So I think this could happen. And I think we should definitely make this happen. It's what the people want to see, Martin.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
You spurred on by your chip butty diet, your ready salted packet of crisps and your chocolate bar.
So when he said like spurred on, he means encouraged.
Yeah, I fancy my chances now, definitely.
Yeah. Luckily, my diet has changed a little bit since then. Not loads, but a little bit.
It used to be quite beige, I have to admit.
Yeah. Quite beige there, so like not a lot of colour to it, let's say, quite standard. Although you say that, I actually remember once being at your house and you decided to have a snack. Okay, this is typical university life. So he said, I'm going to have a snack. He went into the other room, into the kitchen, and then he came back and he had 3 slices of bread. He called it a bread sandwich. So you have bread at the bottom, bread at the top, and the filling of the sandwich was also bread. And to wash this down with, to have a nice drink, he had a glass of water, which is very much, I don't know, but I'd imagine what prisoners eat or something like that.
They probably get a little bit more sustenance than that. I think I was preparing for a night out. I don't think I ever patented that as a bread sandwich, but there's probably scope in the market for it. But yeah, those days are gone.
So I believe you did call it a bread sandwich. Okay, you did get a patent, I believe is what it's called, like the license is like an invention almost. Okay, so another thing we've got here is about exercise. Is it says you don't have to love it. Okay, just try to concentrate on what you're doing at the end, like the actual movements. You don't have to love. But it says as well you can listen to some good music to help you with the workout. So I suppose my question is, do you listen to Coldplay when you're working out, or what do you listen to?
Yeah, a little bit of Coldplay maybe during the warm down, but it's not ideal for the main event, shall we say? Although when we have our boxing fight, I might actually have that as my walk-on track. a bit of yellow just booming out.
And it was all yellow.
Maybe just have that at the end for when you kill me in the boxing ring. So it'd just be like a very solemn atmosphere. So solemn, like a very sad atmosphere, and everyone can cry that you've just murdered me in a boxing ring.
That's the day I've dreamt about for 16 years.
Yeah, exactly. So the next one I've got here is be organised. Okay, be organised with what you're eating, what you're drinking, and also at the gym to like bring your headphones, for example, so you can listen to Coldplay. I'll tell you though, when I go to the gym and I forget my headphones, I just think, oh, you fucking bastard.
Yeah, I think you need to be organised. The more time you can spend exercising, I think the better. But I think my wife always says that she can't go running without her headphones, but I just think sometimes you just need to psychologically just get on with it. Same with you, Johnston.
So just get on with it, just do it anyway. But yeah, I can imagine you singing Coldplay if you haven't got your headphones. And that's why in fact I don't actually have a shower at the gym anymore as well.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up, actually.
So I was going to bring it up. I'm going to start talking about it. Okay, talk about it.
Yeah, because you've always been a stingy bastard. So showering at the gym does not surprise me in the slightest, just so you can save water.
So stingy, someone that doesn't like spending money. But no, that's not the reason, though, to save money. Although, of course, that is one of the reasons. But I just had to put so much in my bag. I had to put, obviously, headphones, towel, clothes, shower gel, shampoo. And I would always forget something every day. In fact, I went to the gym once. I was getting ready to have a shower, and then I thought, fuck, I haven't actually got a towel to dry myself with. But then I thought, I'm here now, I've already got my clothes off, so I'm going to get in that fucking shower anyway. And then I just had to dry myself with toilet paper.
Honestly, the amount of hair on your body as well, it'd be like drying a bear.
Oh, I tell you, I used about 20 rolls of toilet paper and was getting a lot of very strange looks of like, what the hell is this person doing?
I'll tell you, don't say that in England now. We've got a toilet roll shortage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. God, blimey.
Honestly. It'd be like Velcro by the end of it.
Well, that's the problem. It was all sticking to me. So Velcro is something that like it's a bit sticky. Yeah. And obviously the other problem if you have a shower at the gym is that you have to show everyone your body, and then there's always the penis competition of thinking, oh God, that guy over there has got a massive schlong.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's why I generally I just can't be arsed with it.
Yeah, exactly. So can't be arsed with it. I haven't got the energy.
I can imagine you being one of those people that just waits there with the towel slung over the shoulder, basically just leaning against the wall waiting for blokes to walk in. I've just got that image in my head now.
Look, okay, if you've got it, flaunt it. Okay, so if you've got it, show everyone. Okay, so you know I'm not embarrassed by my penis. And I also like to look at other people's as well, okay? Shoot me. What's the problem?
The problem is getting caught. That's a big problem.
Very true. Anyway, it has been a pleasure talking to you, PT Teach.
Yeah, and you, as always, Martin. Thank you.
I'm sure and I hope we will see you again very soon.
I look forward to it. Hopefully we'll get video on as well. So...
yeah.
So you can see my arse, Martin. Put a smile on your face.
And everyone can. Superb. Okay, speak to you soon.
See you later, Martin. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay, so that was PT Tej and I speaking about fitness and all of that kind of stuff. So let's have a look at the rock and roll vocabulary from today's episode. At the beginning, we spoke about where we met, and I said we were in dorms. So dorms is short for dormitory, which is where students often sleep. You have your own room, and in the next room there's someone else because you're in a dormitory. And then I mentioned that he used to listen to Coldplay and slit his wrists. So slit your wrists to cut your wrists and basically kill yourself, like anyone wants to do if they listen to Coldplay. And he said, yes, I know it could have been more uplifting. So uplifting is something that makes you feel better. And then PT Teach didn't know what to do for the review. So he said, walk me through it. So show me step by step. And he said, yeah, well, he would hope that there's a review for a podcast of this caliber, so of this level. And then he also said most people struggle to get a word in edgeways. I don't know why we say this edgeways, but it basically just means difficult to say something because you're always talking. We spoke about a chiseled physique. So a chisel is actually a tool which you use to make things look in a very specific way. So think about that. You use this tool to make your body look in a specific way and very good, basically. Lots of nice muscles in the right places, you know, that kind of stuff. I then spoke about wearing baggy shorts. So baggy shorts are not tight. They're the opposite of tight. We had the term go cold turkey. About, you know, if you have an unhealthy life and you smoke and you drink, it's not easy to go cold turkey. So to stop everything at once, you need to do it slowly. He also said the stories over the years have been embellished or fabricated. So basically things have been emphasised maybe that aren't true. I still disagree with that though. He then said when we had a fight once, obviously a play fight, and he was out of breath, that was when he hit rock bottom, so to hit the very bottom. And I said, yeah, that he was sweating his bollocks off. So a nice, funny way to say you're sweating a lot is, I'm sweating my bollocks off. He said that I was spurred on by my chip butty diet. So if someone spurs you on, they encourage you. So I was encouraged by my chip butty diet. So a chip butty is like a chip sandwich, which I must say is better than a bread sandwich. And then he said my diet was a bit beige. So beige is a kind of colour that basically is a boring colour with no real colour in it. So very bland. So like no flavour, let's say. And I then spoke about his bread sandwich, and I said, yes, you washed it down with a glass of water. So to wash it down with, so you have something to eat, and then basically to wash it down with something, you need a drink. We had the term a very solemn atmosphere, so a very sad atmosphere. And PT Teach, when speaking about exercise, he said, you just need to get on with it. You just need to do it. He also called me a stingy bastard. So someone that is stingy doesn't like spending money. I always say, though, who does? Who does? And we spoke about Velcro as well, when he said my body was probably like Velcro when I dried it with toilet paper. So Velcro, you know when children are young and they can't do their shoes up, like the laces, and they need that sticky stuff. That's called Velcro. And then I said to him, if you've got it, flaunt it. Okay, so flaunt it is like show off. Just show what you've got, baby. So yes, remember all of this rock and roll vocabulary is on the website rockandrollenglish.com/episode 195. I will see you all next week for the podcast. But remember, if you want to come and work out with me and PT Teach, come to Facebook on Wednesday, 10 o'clock in the morning Italian time, 9 o'clock in the morning British time, and I don't know, put into Google for the time where you are. I hope to see you all there, but in the meantime, just keep on rocking, baby.
Thanks so much for listening to Rock and Roll English. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit rockandrollenglish.com and facebook.com/rockandrollenglish. We'll catch you next time.